Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my personal VOD reviews of Locals. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Game 1 of Week 2 of the OP11 Meta, where I played Green Yellow Yamato versus Red R Zoro. Here's the deck list that I played in this match, and if you haven't already done so, please go check out the Locals retro video I made that covers this deck list and my overall thoughts on how Locals went this week. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. First game for Week 2 of the OP11 Meta, I'm playing Green Yellow Yamato versus Red Zoro. This matchup is not one that I'm looking forward to here because it's an aggro deck, and surprisingly aggro decks do pretty well against Yamato because they go really wide, attack really low, and just burn a lot of cards from hand, so it's gonna be rough, but we'll see how we can do with my updated Yamato deck lists for this week. You can see there I built this little card thing that says first or second. I got tired of trying to figure out whether I'm going first or second, so we've got that built. I forgot to put it on ×2 here, so let me go ahead and do that while we get through the shuffling. Okay. And we're going for the dice roll. I rolled a 6, and my opponent rolled an 11. They'll get to pick. And they choose to go first, so I will be going second. Let's go. I think I'm gonna really like this first-second card indicator that I built for myself here. Let's take a look at our initial hand. We're starting off with 2 6-cost Momonosuke's, 1 1-cost Momonosuke, a 2-cost Hiyori, and a 2-cost Izo. Let's do a counter check. We've got a 1k, a 2k, and a 1k. So 4k counter in hand, not the highest, but at least we've got 1 2k and a couple 1ks, so it's alright. Not the greatest. Looking at the cards themselves, I'm happy to see that we at least got 1 searcher, and since we're going second, this Momo searcher will be able to be used on the first turn, so I'll be able to look at the top 5 and hopefully pick a card that I might need. I'm also happy to see the 2-cost Izo. This card just gives me a way for a chunk blocker if I attach 2 Dawn to it, and it gives my leader banish, so having that banish, being able to go in for an early double attack banish will be really good for me. But overall, I did draw 2 bricks. I mean, the 6-cost Momonosuke is kind of nice. However, I think I maybe want some more early game plays. The Yamato searcher is probably what I'd be searching for, so I would think I'd mulligan here. I mean, it's okay. I do have the searcher, so I can potentially just use that. Having the banish is nice, but okay, yeah. We're gonna mulligan. I'm not liking the fact that I have 2 Momonosuke's in hand, I guess. Would rather see something else, so let's go ahead and speed this up. Looks like my opponent decided to keep their opening hand. This is most likely the animal package Zoro, so kind of like how I've been playing against the Chopper, I really should just focus on dealing with their board as much as possible. Alright, let's give my hand the shuffle there, slow it down. Fist bump to start the game, almost missed that. And we're off. Looking at my hand, we've got 1-cost Yamato, 0-cost You're the One Who Should Disappear, 1-cost Otama, and 2 Hody Jones. So we end up just swapping the 2 Hody Jones, or the 2 Momonosuke's for 2 Hody Jones. That's no good. Looking at the counters, we've got a 1k, a 3k, and a 2k. So at least we went up in counter. We now have 6k counter in hand, and we do have 1 of each kind, so can possibly get out of some swings. I'm actually glad that I do have the 0-cost You're the One Who Should Disappear, because I have these 2 bricks in hand, right? It means that I can convert one of them into a 3k counter. Besides that, I'm really happy to see the 1-cost Yamato. It's going to help me search out something I'm going to need pretty soon here, since my hand isn't looking too great in terms of early game plays, and will serve as an attacker later on. So, it's alright. My opponent goes to 1 Dawn, taps it, and plays the 1-cost Searcher Nami. looking at top 5 for a Straw Hat Pirate card. Straw Hat Crew. Sorry. Let's see what they pick. They're gonna go with the 3-cost Rush Zoro. Alright. And they pass the turn. Draw for turn. And we're gonna go up to 2 Dawn. And we're gonna play out the 1-cost Yamato to go searching. Let's see what we find. 2 Hody Jones. Oh man, okay. Well, those are getting bottom decked right away, so glad I actually do end up seeing 2 Hodys in hand. That kind of sucks that I'm seeing 3 bricks in here. I think out of these options, I would most likely take this Hiyori. It's the 2k counter that I can potentially use to get out of some of the aggression that Zoro's going to have. Plus, if I do draw a Kika Nojo, I will be able to set up my life, hopefully. So, yep, makes sense to take that, and I will pass the turn. My opponent is now at 3 Dawn, 6 cards in hand. Let's see what they're gonna do here. They did draw the 3-cost Rush Zoro, so they could play that. They tap all 3 Dawn, and they play the 3-cost Tony Chopper, which lets them play out, I believe, a 4k or less animal. 4k power or less animal. Let me check. Yep, play up to 1 animal type character with 3000 power or less, not 4k. And they put down the super... I forgot the name. Super long. Super Spot Build Duck Squad. Interesting choice there, but I guess it's the only option they might have had in hand. They choose to not attack me, which is very interesting. So it passes back to me, I go up to 4 Dawn, and I just go ahead and swing 9k at their life. I don't really want to do this because it gives cards in hand. As you can see, they decided to take it, so they get +2 cards in hand. But I really want to get my leader ability online so that I can use that to hopefully attack back into their board. Going back to my opponent, they're now at 5 Dawn. With, let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 7 cards in hand. So, let's see what they do with 5 Dawn. They're going to tap 3, play out the Tony Chopper blocker one. I always get my choppers confused here. Yes, this is the blocker chopper, 3-cost 4k power strike character with 1k counter. That's a blocker and says Dawn 2, when attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3000 power. So, they have a blocker now. They attach 1 Dawn to Zoro, giving all of their animals plus 1k. Or sorry, not all their animals, but all of their cards plus 1k. And they're going to start off with a 5k attack to my life with the 3-cost Tony Chopper. Because they're going to be aggressive here, I think countering out might be the play. It's going to burn cards from hand, but it'll keep my life pretty high. So yep, going to give up the Hiyori. And then they're going to go 6k with their leader. And I can give up a 2k for that. So yeah. I'm using my counter now while the attacks are fairly low so that I can stay healthy in life, and you know, hopefully that's going to help me buy time to stabilize the board. I go up to my 7 Dawn turn. Sorry, not 7, 6 Dawn turn. Still no proactive plays here. This kind of sucks. I just ended up drawing another Otama. I have the Otama in the deck, but unfortunately in my deck list right now, I don't have many green Wano cards. So playing the Otama doesn't seem worth it to go searching. The Otama, let's just actually pull it up while I'm thinking here. See, it is a 1-cost 0k power special character with 2k counter that says on play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 green Land of Wano type card other than Otama and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. So if I'm not running too many green Land of Wano cards, it doesn't seem worth it for me to use to search, so that's why I'm not going to play it. We start off by attaching 2 Dawn to my leader and go 7k double attack at my opponent's life. It is weird that I'm doing this. I should be attacking his chopper instead. It's like, don't worry about life and just go for the board, control the board as much as possible. But okay, we go for life. He gives me a 2k and a 1k to get out of that. That's 2 cards from hand, so I will take that. And this is very interesting. So I'm playing the 1-cost Gum Gum Elephant Gatling. So this card, if you're not familiar with it, is a 1-cost event that says main, you may rest one of your Dawn cards, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, or counter up to one of your leaders gains plus 3,000 power. So I use it to rest his chopper blocker, and then I end up using leader ability to attach 2 Dawn, and use my last 2 Dawns to attach to Yamato and go a big 7k swing at this chopper. They tap 1 Dawn to play Just Shut Up and Come With Us, being able to play out another animal, and it's going to be the same Tony chopper blocker. So effectively, they were able to replace the chopper. Yeah, okay. It's interesting that I decided to use that early. I think maybe in my mind at this point in time, I was just trying to get rid of that blocker since they chose not to block my leader swing. That could have been the reason why I went 7k here, is to try to bait out that blocker and then maybe use the Yamato to attack into the 3-cost Tony chopper, but didn't work out, so we had to go with that. Pass back to my opponent. They're at 6 Dawn. They attach, 7 Dawn. They attach 1 to Zoro, giving their characters plus 1k. Easy 3k into my Yamato, so 3 to 0. That's gotta go. Let's see what they do next. They have 6 Dawn remaining. My hand's not looking too good right now. They're gonna go 5k at life. So 5 to 5. I have to give up a 1k counter. I know a Zoro swing's coming in later. That's potentially gonna be a 6k. So let's save the 2ks and we're just gonna take the hit. And it's a Law and Beppo off the top of my life. A very interesting card that I've teched into my deck for this week, but I'll talk about that later. See what they do next here. 6 Dawn remaining still. They go 6 into life. I'm gonna go ahead and just give a 2k counter to get out of that. And then they're gonna tap 3 Dawn to play out another chopper blocker. Wow. Okay, I've got to get through 2 blockers and they still have 3 life. They tap another 3 Dawn, replacing their Nami for a... what is that? Zoro. And they're going to rush at me for 6k, which I give up another 2k. So it worked out that I ended up keeping the 2ks. Getting out of these 6k swings is nice. Oof. I drew an Otama from the top of my deck. Still no really big early game plays here. So I think I'm just going to have to do it. I stayed healthy. This is a good reason why I get to play Hody Jones for 7 Dawn, take my top life. Rest their 2 blockers, which is good. And now I should really be going after their board. We'll go 1 Dawn on my leader and go 6k at one of the chopper blockers, which they let go. We'll use leader ability for fun. We'll go 10k at the Zoro. Interesting. I guess I'm doing that because the Zoro would be a 6k swing versus just the 5k swing with chopper once my opponent attaches 1 Dawn to leader. So getting rid of the bigger attacker just means I have to counter less. Goes back to my opponent. They're at 9 Dawn now. 3 characters on board, Tony Chopper, the Duck Squad, and the Blocker Chopper. While I have 2 life, 5 cards in hand, it's a little bit rough here. I think I only have a total of... oh, I've got 6k counter in hand. That's not too bad. My opponent's gonna go ahead and play out the 3-cost Chopper, which lets him search the... I think it's top 5 for an animal. Yep. On play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and play up to 1 animal type character with 4k power or less rested. Then place the rest at the bottom. Let's see what they choose to play out. They are playing out Hiking Bear. Okay. at this point in the game, you know, they have a lot of characters on board. They're going to be swinging at me for a lot of 5-6k swings. I'm really hoping my Hody Jones can stay on board for me to use and attack back. It is a 7 cost 8k power. It's going to be a little hard for my opponent to remove. But if they're playing something like Mulgun, then it's going to be pretty easy to get rid of. My opponent has 5 Dawn left. So let's see what they're going to do with it. They're only down to 2 cards in hand though, it looks like. So I guess I'm doing a decent job denying the rest of his life into hand. I gotta keep just attacking the board. Once he's out of resources, then I can go after life. And it shouldn't be too hard going after life since my leader does have double attack, so 1 hit will immediately bring them down to 1 life. So yeah, going after board should be the game plan here. My opponent is going to rest 4 Dawn. Potentially, yep, resting 4 Dawn, and they're going to play Mulgun. There it is. So Mulgun is a 4 cost event that says main, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 5,000 power. Then if you have a character with 6,000 power or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 2,000 power or less. So my Hody Jones is now a 3k, and they're gonna swing 4 into 3 with their Duck Squad. So I really want to protect this. I'm gonna give a 2k counter. I'm partially doing this because Hody Jones is now going to act kind of like a pseudo blocker. My opponent, if they really want to remove it, will have to keep attacking it, which saves my life, right? So it feels like it's worth protecting. They're going to go now 5 into 4 with the 3 cost chopper. Yep, so the more I can defend this, the less hits I take in life, right? Although I am burning counter, if I am able to keep the Hody Jones alive, that'd be really good for me. Okay, but we choose to let it go after this second hit here. 5k into 3 is a little rough. I'd have to give up my 0 cost event, which doesn't seem worth it. Final attack, my opponent goes 7k, sorry, into my life. And there we go. Good thing I kept the 0 cost around, giving up the Yamato, surprisingly, to counter out for 8. So now I'm at 10 Dawn. In my hand, I still have Hody Jones and Law and Beppo, and I'm choosing to play the Law and Beppo. Alright, let's take a look at this card. It's a new ad that I'm testing in this deck. So Law and Beppo is a 10 cost, 11k power slash and strike character that says on play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters, and that characters will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. Then if your opponent has 2 or more rested characters, your leader gains plus 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So pretty good. I was able to rest his 1 blocker, and then because my leader is 7k, I went 7k into the Hiking Bear. If you're wondering why I chose to go into the Hiking Bear instead of the Chopper blocker, it's because that Hiking Bear can give his animals a Dawn. So I wanted to prevent him from being able to boost his characters even higher. I don't know why I chose to give up the 1k counter in the Yamato when I discarded for the 0 cost event, because I could have given up the Hody if I knew I was going to play Law and Beppo, but maybe I wanted to play the Hody Jones. That was kind of weird. I just lost out on 1k counter, honestly. Hopefully my leader being a 7k power will be able to start, protect me from these attacks. But back to my opponent. They attach 1 Dawn to their leader, making all of their characters plus 1k. And my opponent's going to start with a 7k swing with the 3 cost chopper to my life, which I have to take because I don't have that 1k counter. And now my opponent is attaching 3 Dawn to the Duck Squad. They're going to go 7k again at my life, and I give up the 2k to get out of that. This is kind of nice being a 7k leader. They have to commit a lot more. So here comes another 7k with the 2020 chopper, and I take. And Now my opponent only has 1 active Dawn, so the most that they can do right now is a 7k swing at my life, and I think fortunately I drew a counter off the top of my life. So, really lucky there. And they're gonna take a Duck Squad from the Tony Chopper search, replacing their... interesting. They're gonna replace their Duck Squad. Oh, that's right, because they have to play it. One Dawn left. Let's see what they're gonna do. They're gonna tap 1, and they're gonna put down the 1-cost blocker chopper. Interesting. So they chose not to attach the Dawn to leader. Didn't want to go for a 7k swing, I guess. I think they maybe should have gone for the 7k swing. But maybe they were worried that because I have the Lawn Beppo, if they don't put out a blocker, I could easily burn through their life. So, alright. I'm down to no cards in life, 10 Dawn. Drawing a Otama. Yeah, okay. I had, fortunately, a 1k in hand, so even if they attacked me for 7, I'd be able to get out of it. And now I'm glad I kept the Hody Jones, because here we go. I think I have to go for game here. Play out the Hody Jones for 7, resting the blocker, and I'm going to go 7k at life. This is a little bit high, but I'm worried that that could be a 2k in hand, so we're just going to guarantee the hit to burn 2 cards from their life. Not burn, but take 2 cards from their life. And now I have 2 attacks. My opponent has 3 cards in hand, and I have to guarantee the 2 hits. I'm going to use leader ability to go 10. Ooh, maybe not 10. Okay, we're going to go 11. 11k with Hody Jones at life. They're going to take. And then we'll go another 11 at life. And they only had 3 1ks. So I take the win. Woo, that was a very close match. I don't know if I could have done better numbers there. But yeah. Thinking about it right now, 7k swing guarantees the 2 hits. They have 3 cards in hand, so the most that they can counter is up to 11k. Yeah, so if they had 2ks in hand, I just go 11 just to make sure that that goes through. They're going to have 4 cards in hand. If they didn't counter out of this 11, well, they could have gone another counter. A little bit risky, but I end up pulling out the win. So, yeah. GG's. Let me know in the comments if I should have done anything different, but I'm glad I was able to take it. I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya.